Assalamu alaikum class, welcome to online computer programming lecture number 17. The topic of today's lecture is C++ encapsulation. So in the previous lecture we have come across from access specifier, and now we will cover in this lecture the concept of the encapsulation. So the word, if we break this word into two parts, then it will become encapsule, CAPSULE. So from the word capsule means to hide something, to put something in the cover that is hidden from the common people. So we will see what is the concept of encapsulation in C++. Okay, so in normal terms, encapsulation is defined as wrapping up of data and information under a single unit. So wrap up means to collect all the things, the valuable things, important things, secure things, things in form of data and information in a single unit. In object-oriented programming, encapsulation is defined as binding together the data and the functions that manipulates them. So object oriented is C++ along with Java language. So these supported encapsulation. So the object oriented C++ is, so in object oriented what encapsulation performs is binding data and the function that manipulates them. Manipulates means which can change our functions. So that this is the concept of encapsulation, means to hide something important in a single place. So what to hide? To hide data and functions. Clear? But these data and functions are not common, is some proper, and I will show you what are these functions in detail further. So if we understand the concept of encapsulation in real life, so I got an example I want to share with you. So let's suppose in the company there are different sections like account section, finance section, sales section, etc. The finance section handles all the financial transactions and keep records of all the data related to the finance. Similarly, the sales section handles all the sales related activities and keep records of all the sales. Now there may arise a situation when for some reason an official from finance section needs all the data about sales in a particular month. In this case, he is not allowed to directly access the data of the sales section. He will first have to contact some other officer in the sales section and then request him to give the particular data. So it is quite obvious that every department have their data, so no one can share their data through proper channel. So this is what encapsulation is. Here the data of the sales section and the employees that can manipulate them are wrapped under a single name, sales section. So if two departments in the company wants to exchange or get data from department wise, so every section is comes under a single name, as we previously discussed that the data will be in the single unit. So here it means single unit, so here it comes to the cell sections. So this is the concept of encapsulation, that no one can get data of others department, so we need a procedure, we need a proper channel through which we can get that data. Now encapsulation tells us how we can get the data and set the data. So here you can see the picture. This is the shape of capsule, so that it is called the encapsulation. So in that capsule we have the methods and variables, and that is the methods and variables of any class. So that methods and variables comes into the, as I told you, data and the function here that manipulates them. So I will now further tell you that we have hide our data and function in this capsule in the form of a class which have methods. Methods means functions and variables means we store the data. I think the concept is now quite clear. So the meaning of encapsulation is to make sure that sensitive data is hidden from the users. Not all users but the common users. To achieve this you must declare class variables or attributes as private. As we discussed, private is the XX specifier we have discussed in the last lecture. So cannot be accessed from the outside the class. Yeah, the same definition. If you want others to read or modify the value of a private member, you can provide public get and set methods. So this is important terms, methods, get and set methods. So we get the information from the private member and we can set any value, and that value will be get by that private member, but that private member cannot seen by all the members, but it is hidden, but it is set by the public members. So we'll show you in the example how it will works. So in C++, encapsulation can be implemented using the class and access modifiers. Access modifiers are public and private and protected. So the protected will be covered in the topic of inheritance. So our next lecture also will be on the inheritance. So why encapsulation? It is considered good practice to declare your class attributes as private as often as you can. Encapsulation ensures better control of your data because you or others can change one part of the code without affecting other parts. So these are the benefits we have to use from the object oriented programming language which supports. That is why, because of these features, object oriented is being considered as the most secure languages. So what we can do encapsulation ensure the better control of your data. So in other programming languages maybe your data is not protected, so anyone can modify your dead data, but in object oriented if you use the feature of encapsulation your data will be secure and increase security of data. So one thing keep in your mind that data is very important in the field of computer science. Like if our data is not hidden, so we will lose our customers, our bank customers, our insurance customers. A lot of customers will be disturbed. So make sure that you try to use the concept of encapsulation. Okay, now we are understand this program. We have the library using namespace std. We have the class employee here. Here we have the private access specifier which is colon sign in the end. Integer is the variable, sorry, data type salary is the variable. So that private is what? Salary. Salary is private, no one can see the salary of the employee class. Public, what we want to show, we have to set salary by the finance department. So void is the, it will return nothing. Set salary, void here is the data type. Set salary is the method. Integer is what? It is the parameter which is to be returned to where? To the variable salary s. Clear? So this is our class. We have integer get salary. This is another method and we will return the salary. So we have the two public methods which is set salary and the get salary. We will set salary here and we will get salary here. So what main function will do, main function will have the class, and we create the object employee my object dot set salary by, we are going to set salary 50,000 semicolon, see out my object dot get salary. Now that salary will be get by this, and ultimately it will return to the here, 50,000 will become to the here. So the output of this program will be 50,000. So I'm going to run this program on C++, you will see. Okay, so here you can see the output, which is 50,000. I am going to elaborate this functions once more. So we are going to access the data of the private access specifier. So the function, the whole program concept is to access the private members, private data from the private access specifier. So now you can see we have created the class which is going to private the salary. Now this salary we are going to assign by the help of public class, which is going to set the salary first, that will come to the here in the salary variable. And now we are going to get salary with the help of public method get salary. So what we are basically do in the main function, we are going to create the class which is the class name and the object name. My object dot set salary is 50,000, which will be assigned to the salary variable. Clear? And now we are going to see that salary on the screen. So if we want to do with the private member salary, we have to use the method set and get methods in order to work with the private data, private class data. Clear? So if we run this program, it will show the set salary, which is 50,000. I hope you understand this program and all the lectures. If you have any query, we will discuss on the live session in Zoom. Clear? Till that, Allah Hafiz.